So I think it can really help us in dealing with a number of challenges we have as a society, right? Clearly the net zero agenda is something that is affecting us all, right? It's not just certain companies or certain industries, it's everyone, all the way to individuals. So I believe timber can really help us in driving, a better world in the context of reducing emissions and climate change, but also has a number of benefits that could help us dealing with some of the main challenges the construction industry faces, like productivity. It's been one of the least productive industries in 20 years. We haven't improved productivity much, and we need to grow the amount of buildings we build since the population is growing. So timber enables off-site manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, automation, which in turn will help us becoming more productive. And in the same context, dealing with quality and safety is something that timber would enable as well. So for me, it's a combination of a number of things: climate change, but also dealing with some of the main challenges the construction industry faces. Lendlease is an international real estate and property group. We combine the disciplines of investment, development, and construction. And we operate in 4 different regions and 17 different gateway cities. Our experience with engineered timber mainly started in 2010 when we looked at developing what at the time was the tallest residential building built out of engineered timber in the world, a building called Forte Apartments in Melbourne, Australia. Since then, we built more than 20 buildings around the world using engineered timber. Buildings like this one, the IQL Pavilion, in the middle of London. Sustainability is at the heart of Lendlease's purpose. That's been since day one. So the creation of social, environmental value is very important to us. More recently, in 2020, alongside our commitments to be a 1.5 degree aligned company, we set very ambitious targets from the perspective of the reduction of embodied carbon and carbon emissions in general. We are set to be net zero by 2025 on scope 1 and 2. That means the fuel we burn and the power we use, and absolute zero by 2040. That's scope 1, 2, and 3, with no offsets. So we believe these targets, alongside the nature of our global business, put us in a leading position to decarbonize the construction sector. However, we know we cannot do this alone, and we don't have all the answers yet. We need to collaborate, right? We need to collaborate in decarbonizing carbon-intensive materials like concrete and steel, but we also need to work in enabling and accelerating the use of timber. We aim to use materials where they add the most value. In the context of the use of timber, since we work in multi-story construction, the type of wood products we use in that sort of context is mainly engineered timber buildings, well, materials. Materials like cross-laminated timber or glulam, and a mix or a combination of them is mainly what we've been using around the world. As an example, the tallest building we built to date is a building in Brisbane, 25 King Street, which is a commercial building where the use of timber was mainly in the form of cross-laminated timber floors and glulam columns and beams. But we also used, different combinations in other parts of the world. Like in the US, we built a number of hospitality buildings where the main use of the timber products has been cross-laminated timbers in floors and walls. Our clients and investors are increasingly interested in how we are dealing with whole life carbon and embodied carbon. So as such, we need to consider the use of materials when developing these buildings. Right? So For example, we've introduced the use of low carbon steel, as well as materials with an increased recyclable content like aluminium, but we're also enabling the use of low carbon technologies that exist today, like timber. So that's what we do in terms of materials. I mean, buildings like this one, reduce or have a reduced amount of embodied carbon of more than 40%, right? And that's something that clearly attracts investors and clients. So when you look at the Build Back Better priorities, they talk about leveling up the whole of the UK, support the net zero transition, but also support the vision of a global Britain. Timber in construction provides us with an opportunity to substitute carbon-intensive materials like concrete and steel for a lower carbon solution today, right? And also enables innovation in construction and property through, the use of kit of parts or a product-based approach to design and construction into advanced manufacturing and automation. I believe the future is bright for timber. I think the reduction of emissions globally will still be the main driver for timber being enabled into construction. And in time, all the other benefits associated with productivity, quality, and safety will become visible as well. So I think there is a bright future. However, I think it's very important that we have an industry that collaborates and deals with these challenges around unfamiliarity with the technology, but also the development of the right guidance to ensure that the needs of not just society, but key value chain stakeholders like developers, insurers, investors, etc., are met.